15 minutes of conversation and I'll be able to tell you exactly what's in the way of your manifesting. All I have to do is listen to you. If you're not getting what you really want, then it would be very easy to detect why that's happening. Just saying. I wonder what I could sing today.
Don't be fooled by the rocks that I got. I'm still Jenny from the block. I used to have a little, now I have a lot. No matter where I go, I know where I came from.
Well, lucky you. I won't be singing today. What up, party people of the streets? Welcome back. How's it going? How was your day today? Welcome to day 13. Okay, today we're talking about something that I brought up in yesterday's video that's really important. This segment is, are you slowing down your manifesting? Okay, so let's get into this. This was a lesson that I learned pretty early on. It was something that I had to go through and experience in order to realize that I was doing this and how it was affecting me. The topic that we're talking about in particular is changing your mind when you're manifesting. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the topic of manifesting a house because that's the one that really drove it home for me. When I was first getting into my manifesting and I was just like, okay, now I can manifest this house, I'm going to do it. So I made my list like we discussed in yesterday's video, and then I started looking at houses. And so along the way, I would be excited about it and looking at houses and looking at prices and just going back and forth with myself about how I felt about it. And then I would start thinking, well, maybe I should just get a condo. And so the reasons were because I could get one for cheaper and it would just be easier because it just wasn't as hard as getting a house. That was my mentality. Now, as I say that to you, can you see how I was making that decision? Not because I wanted the condo, but because I was limiting myself. I was feeling like it was going to be less money, so it would be easier. And so I was going to take that route. I didn't want to live in a condo. I didn't want a condo. I wanted a house. But I was, in that time, my abundance consciousness and my energy being open or closed. You know, I talked about how your energy has to be open. All of that was at just such a smaller scale. So I was totally manifesting, but from a place of settling and lack, just because I thought that it would be that way that I would get something faster. Then I would diligently start manifesting the condo. So I'd start writing my list of what my requirements were for this condo and where, and because this would all change everything. But then I started working on manifesting this condo. And I would do that for a couple of weeks, maybe even a month. And then I'd go, you know what? I really don't want a condo. Why am I doing this? Why am I going to settle and go after a condo if I really want a house? I can manifest a house. I can have anything. So you see how I was working on my vibration level and my consciousness and my art of manifesting and how I could shift things. And I was getting the beliefs, but I wasn't quite believing it yet. So when people ask me those questions like, what do? I don't want to settle. I want this big thing, but I don't want to settle, but I need to be somewhere in 2 months. You know, the only way I can tell you what you need to do is talk to you, have a conversation with you to find out where you are with your art of manifesting, and I will know, and then I will tell you what you need to do. But I can't just tell you what to do because everybody's at a different level. I know what I would do. I would be able to tell people I know what to do, but I would need to have a conversation with somebody to tell them what they need to do. So it's all different. So I would say, okay, I'm going to go for the house. Forget this. I don't want the condo. So then I'd scrap the condo and I'd go back to the house thing and I would start down that road again. To be honest, I probably ping-ponged the house to the condo probably 10 times. And I don't know how long of a period, maybe a few years. Every time I did that, I started over. Every time you make a change like that, from a house to a condo, even a vacation destination, from one destination to another, even maybe a car or a job, they're different energies. So even if you were saying, I still want 2 bedrooms, I still want 2 bathrooms, but I wanted it a house and not a condo, those are 2 different things, and the energies are completely different. Not only that, you've got to remember your energy and how your energy is playing into this. How did my energy feel towards the house? I wanted a house. I envisioned this house that I just could see myself in. I just knew I could be there. But somewhere along the way, I would start having some doubts. I would start bringing in my limitations, my limited thinking, and my lackful thinking. I'm sure my worthiness was playing into it, feeling like how could I ever have this? Because I never had it before. I never felt worthy that I could have this house. And what was happening was my mind was taking over my heart. Basically, my heart was wanting the house. My mind was overriding it, saying, you can't have that. You might as well just go for the condo. You'll be lucky if you get the condo. You've got to remember to not let your mind convince you that you can't have something. Your mind is so good at telling you every reason why you can't have something. Watch it. Observe your mind for a few days. When you're making a decision, ask your mind what it thinks about the decision and listen to it. It's going to tell you all the reasons why you shouldn't do exactly what you want to do. It's going to tell you why you shouldn't do all those things. It's going to have wonderful reasons. And then say, okay, thank you, mind. Put it aside. Go into your heart. Just feel your mind go down into your heart and say, if I was making this choice from my heart, what would that be? And believe me, your heart's going to tell you something completely different, and it's going to be the thing that you really do want. And then the balancing act is, do I listen to my head or do I listen to my heart? Because your head is really loud. Your mind is really loud. It contains your ego, which is your lower self. Your heart contains your higher self, which is a place of love. So your heart won't be as loud and belligerent as your head will be. Your head will be like totally going, what are you thinking? Why do you think you can do that? You can't have that. You never had it before. It'll tell you you're a loser. It will tell you all the reasons why you failed, why you can't have something, why you shouldn't do it. And it'll tell you how doomed you will become if you do it. Your mind is just really an interesting function. So what you have to remember is let your mind tell you everything it needs to tell you, because if you don't listen to it, it's just going to keep nagging you. So say, okay, mind, give it to me. Give me all you got. Listen to it. Entertain the thought of what your head has to tell you. And then just come from a place like, okay, I'm just going to listen to this and let it go. Let it rip. And then say, okay, thank you for your input. Now, let me just cut the cord to that. Let me go into my heart and take a nice deep breath. Okay, close your eyes and put your hand on your heart. Because when you close your eyes, you go inside to yourself. When you open your eyes, you're out in the world. And you're taking in all these energies around you. You're letting all that influence you. You're just taking on everything that is around you. So when you close your eyes and you put your hand on your heart, you go inside. And when you go inside, you go into your heart center and you go into your truth and you go into your soul self and ask yourself, if I was making my choice from my heart, from my soul, what would that be? And listen to your heart. So the next step is you have to be brave enough to follow your heart. And we're always taught to follow our head. Many times we make our choices out of fear, which is our head, instead of love, which is our heart. We've been brought up that way most of the time. If you have parents that understood spirituality and things like that, maybe you were lucky. But most of us learned how to make decisions from fear because we always heard those kind of things. Even when you left your house, how many times did you hear your mom or your dad or an adult say, okay, be careful. Be careful. Well, of course they love you and they want you to be careful, but that's an energy of fear. Like, what do I need to be careful of? Like, what's going to happen? Or you can't do that because that might happen. You better think about that because if you do that, that might happen. All of these might happens are a bunch of BS. Now, of course, things might happen, but you can't live from that space and come from a place of your heart. The more you follow your heart, the more you take steps and are brave enough to say, you know what, my head's saying this and I'm just going to turn it off and I'm going to trust and know that if I follow my heart, this is what is going to bring me the most happiness and fulfillment. If you follow your head, you will not reach that happiness and fulfillment and peace and all of those things that are on your list. Your head will not take you there. Your head will take you from one fear reaction decision to the next. And it's always going to be full of what ifs. You better watch out. This could happen. La da da. Well, what if it doesn't happen? What if you don't have to watch out? I mean, if you're going to live your life in fear, then you're just going to live your life in fear. And that's how your life will unfold. So you'll just play it safe and live in fear. Sounds awful to me. To me, going from your heart is playing it safe and living large, living your truth. I had to master that myself. And that's how I live now. That's just how I can't do it any other way. I can't live from fear. I can't because it feels awful. It's scary to live in fear. It makes me nervous. I don't want to feel like that. I always ask myself when I make any decision, am I making this decision from a place of fear? Or am I making this decision from love? Because I want to make sure that it's not fear. If I'm coming from fear, I'm going to say, well, wait a minute. This is fear-based. How can I change this? And I do that. I'll listen to my head. Go ahead. Let it rip. Then I say thank you. And then I go to my heart. And I listen to my heart. And I find the courage and the strength and the trust and the faith to do what my heart says. That's just the way it goes. Every time you make a major change in your manifestation, you're going and then you're stopping. And then you're starting over. And then you're stopping. And then you're starting over. So every time you do that change, you're starting over. It will prolong getting to what you want. You're going to keep exerting the energy, but it's going to be stop and start and stop and start and stop and start. So make sure you're not doing that. And if you are doing that, you want to ask yourself, why am I doing that? Is it because I feel like I can't have that? And then I think I have to settle, but then I get brave and I go back to that again? Fix that. Fix it. Okay, this is what the art of manifesting is about, is staying on top of your game, listening to yourself every day, observing the decisions you make, why you make them, how they make you feel, and realigning as you need to. When you do that, you will master this. You just got to do the work, and nobody else can do the work for you. You've got to do it yourself. You've got to learn this yourself, and you'll get better and better and better, but you're going to always be refining it. I'm still refining things, but I work on it. There's so many areas, people think, well, where's my block? Well, you might have a block, but you know what? It goes deeper than that. It could be something from your family line that's affecting you. It could be something from a trauma that is affecting you. It could be something that happened to you when you were a kid that you don't even remember. So it's not about like, oh, let me find all these things. Because believe me, if there's something the universe needs you to know or fix or look at, it will bring it to you front and center. The universe is not shy about showing you your shit. It will show you what you need to look at next. And it's usually something that happens with a family member or a loved one that will get your attention, most likely upset you, and bother you. Those are the signals from the universe saying, looky over here, you got to fix this because you want that. So you don't need to go digging around and finding all these blocks, because that's just like brain candy. That'll just drive you crazy, because there's always going to be something. All you need to do is write your list. Don't change it so erratically. It's okay to change things, like say it was a house and it was a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 2 floors. You might say, you know what, I decided I want a 3-bathroom. Or, you know, I decided it doesn't have to be 2 floors, it could be 1 floor. Like, you could do little adjustments, but just know that every time you adjust something, it does have to shift it a little bit. And if you make the change like a big, huge change, then it is basically starting over again. And it's okay. If you need to make that kind of decision, then by all means do it. But what I'm doing here is just telling you that that is what happens when you do that, so you can be more conscious about it and not just keep changing your mind just because you're changing your mind. You know, put some thought behind, is this something that I really want to do? So you're always going to change things. You might have a list today, and in a month, you want to change a lot of things. It's okay. Definitely do that. I mean, we are learning and growing every day. But I'm just telling you that to just be a little bit conscious, like that house and condo thing was so unnecessary for me to do that. I did that for way too long. It just really prolonged everything. And then I got to the point where I was like, never mind, I don't care anymore. It's taking too long. Like, I didn't even think about it for years, because I was just like, I guess it's not meant to be. It wasn't that it wasn't meant to be. It was I kept changing things and not trusting it. So you have to look at stuff and know that the universe will show you through other people and situations that feel very uncomfortable. So you'll get the clue, you need to look at this and fix this. So don't kill the messenger. I know I've said that before, but it's the people that are closest to you that are going to irk you the most, that are going to get under your skin the most. So the universe has to go through these people to wake us up and get our attention. And the choosing from your heart instead of your mind, that's a huge one. That's something you really want to write down and make sure that you're monitoring that. If you feel fearful about something, you are coming from a place of fear. And what you want to do is recognize, I feel fearful of this. I'm feeling afraid. This makes me nervous. What can I do? Maybe it's, I need to get out of my house and go outside for a walk. Remember I told you in the past video how to get up out of your funk? And one of the big things is, many times if we stay inside, it makes us nervous. It makes us fearful. It's really strange how that happens, but it does. So if you're starting to feel fearful and you're in your house, just go out for a walk. Go get out and get air. Put your feet on the textures in the grass or whatever. Breathe and come back. You'll feel a lot better. I bet you anything, you won't feel that fear anymore. If you're feeling fearful about a bill or something that might happen, like if it might happen, most of the time these things that we worry about that might happen don't happen. Stop worrying about the future. Be in your present. Allow yourself the space. Like there have been times in my past where I'd be really freaked out about bills or money or something. And I would tell myself, you know what, just for today, I'm going to let myself be in today. Everything is fine right now. I'm not going to worry about what might happen. I know the money's coming for that. Right here, right now, I am okay. And I'm going to just let myself feel calm today. Today, I'm just going to be calm. And then I would do that. I would say, okay, I'm just going to cut the cord to that. I'm just going to push that out. I'm not going to worry about that. Today is fine, and I'm just going to be present, and I know that everything's going to work out. I know that everything's going to work out. Sometimes you just got to take it day by day. You've got to ask yourself why I'm feeling uncomfortable and what I can do to fix it. It might, like I said, it might be as easy as going outside. It might be as easy as saying, you know what, I'm not going to worry about the future. I'm going to be here right now and tell myself everything's okay. And just be okay with it. A couple affirmations that really helped me when I would get in those worry modes are, everything always works out for the best. Everything always works out for the best. Actually, that's really true. Another one that I say is, the universe has my back 24/7. The universe has my back 24/7. Saying things like that, those kind of things always got me through those fearful moments. So you want to have your tools together for those fearful moments. Have a list of, when I feel fearful, I will look at this list and do one of these things. Because the sooner that you can move out of that fear, the sooner you're on to your day and on to better manifesting. Because believe me, let me tell you something really important. You are manifesting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, whether you're trying to or whether you know it or not. Every moment of your breathing experience, you are manifesting by your vibration, by your feelings. Whatever you're feeling, whatever you're vibrating, is manifesting every second. So the more time you spend in fear, in anger, in blame, and projecting your stuff on other people, in gossip, and whatever negative stuff, the more you are manifesting more of that stuff. I tell you, there's been so many times when I'd be writing an email to one of my friends and starting to complain about somebody, and I'd write it out and I'd look and go, you know what? I don't even want to put that out there, and I would erase it. I am so conscious about what I say. I don't say half the stuff that I would want to say or what I used to say in the past. Because whatever you're complaining about, whatever you're feeling emotionally, the more you feed that, the more you're going to experience more of that stuff. And that's not the kind of stuff that I want to experience. So I switch my focus and I start thinking about the things I really do want to experience, and breathe and feel good about what I have, the things I've done, the people that I love, and start putting my focus towards that. Sometimes it's harder than other times. And when that happens, sometimes I'll just go buy some flowers for myself or go outside and be in the beauty. Anything to change your focus. So, like I said, sometimes it's harder than others to change your focus, but you start with, I want to feel good. And I did a video on that early on. I don't know if it was the first or second day, but I talked about that. I said, even if it's hard, you say, you know, I want to feel good. I want to feel good. That's my goal right now, is I want to feel good. What can I do? Find things that make you feel good. Go back and watch those videos because I gave you a lot of good ideas on what to do there. So notice when you're in a fearful space and then change it. Notice when you're making decisions, if you're making a decision from fear or love, and if it's coming from fear, step back and look at it and find a way to come from love. And don't change your manifestations too erratically due to feeling limited or settling or unworthy. Those kind of reasons for changing your manifestation are really bad reasons. Those are the ones that are going to make you take longer to manifest what you want. So stay on top of these things because these are really important. If you can get these so they become pretty natural, where you really notice like, oh, I'm doing this, I'm going to do that. Where it just becomes natural. You know what you're going to do when you feel that way. I swear, awareness is 99%. If you are aware of this stuff, you keep track of yourself. That's what I did. I was on myself. I listened to myself. Make sure you're listening to yourself all the time, whether you're on the phone, typing an email, reading something, driving your car. How many times do you drive your car and your mind just goes off somewhere else? Start paying attention to where your mind is going. Pay attention to everything and shift it real time as it's happening. When you do that, your world is going to change for the better. These little simple things, it's just about awareness, and it's just about knowing what to do in the moment. And my 40-day Manifesting Breakthroughs video e-course is all about this kind of stuff. What I'm teaching on these daily videos, I'm actually giving you guys a lot, but in my 40-day programs, it's this kind of stuff, but way deeper. I go deeper. I really talk about getting deep and healing your DNA, healing relationships, healing yourself, looking at your abundance consciousness, and lots of techniques. So you're getting pretty good stuff, but there's a lot deeper that you could be going into. So if you really want to master the art of manifesting, get into my program because it works. It works. All right, everybody, that's it for today. Stay on top of yourself and keep going, keep learning these concepts and keep going. And thank you to those of you that are watching every day, and even more of a thank you to those that are commenting in the comment section, because I really appreciate it. I love the conversation that's going on there. People can learn from each other. People are asking questions, and I really encourage that. And at the very least, at least like the video to help me to get this information out to more people. The more that you comment and like and share my videos, the more people that can learn from this stuff. And believe me, you want to care about other people learning and having these transformations for themselves, because the more people who can think like this, can you imagine how much better our world becomes? So please use the share buttons, use the like buttons, make comments, because you are helping many other people just by doing those simple clicks. You're here anyway, just click it. All right? And if you're not subscribed to my channel, subscribe to my channel. Right.
Don't be fooled by the rocks that I got. I'm still Jenny from the block.
All right, everybody. Thank you. Much love, and I'll see you tomorrow on day 14.